Okay, so this is the live Q&A. Welcome everyone. We have 70 people right here. We would love to know where you're from or where you're located right now. And then, we will tell everyone more about ourselves, and then we will start the Q&A session. We've got some lovely questions from all of our lovely followers, beautiful people. Austria,
Miami,
Berlin, Canada, so exciting. India.
Wow. Greece.
Oh, lovely.
Canada. India.
Hey.
That's amazing.
Glendale, California. Oh, nice. So we're all spread out. This is beautiful, and we're so grateful that everyone could join. And we're doing this session for all of you. We would like to open up this Q&A and to join together as a global community. So me and Leila are both from Sweden, and I'm the creator of Love Positivism, and Leila is the creator of Holistic Rebels. So maybe Leila, you want to start by introducing yourself?
I can start introducing myself, definitely. I love seeing all the comments here where people are from, and it's like you said, this is for you guys. We want to open up this space for you guys to ask questions, and just tell us about yourselves and anything that you might be going through now that you need support in, or So we are so excited to do this together. And as Shireen said, my name is Leila, and we are both located in Sweden, in Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. And we've known each other for a while. I work as a healer, holistic healer, coach, and therapist, and I'm also a yoga teacher, and I am a meditation instructor, and I do shamanic healing, and I run a business with my husband, and that business is called Holistic Rebels. So we do anything that has to do with holistic health. He's a nutritionist and health coach, so anything that has to do with holistic health. And that's me. What else? We got to know each other like a few years ago when we met at, actually, I was about to say that we got to know each other when we worked as yoga teachers on a yoga studio, but that's not true, because I was kind of like taking you and your husband out when you were doing yoga in another studio where I was also doing yoga, and you didn't know I was taking you guys out. And then you came to the studio where I was a yoga teacher, and then you started also as a yoga teacher in that studio, and that's how we got to know each other, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was a couple of years ago now. Time flies.
Time flies. Yeah. So that's what I do. I've been on your podcast, and what I talked about mainly then was trauma, but we were talking about conscious morning routines. We were talking about, I can't remember, because sometimes when I talk, I just talk, and then I wonder, what did I say? It's like I'm more channeling than talking, so I don't always remember what I say. But we had a great conversation, and we've had many people reach out saying, I've had like many people contact me afterwards saying that it was a really powerful episode, especially the part about trauma. So if you have questions about trauma, please don't hesitate. Just send them to us, and we'll answer them together. Definitely. Yeah, that was me. Maybe you should say something about you. Also.
Yes, so I'm the creator of Love Positivism and the Instagram and podcast. So I've connected with many of you throughout these years. It's been a real joy and pleasure to have this community and to be able to serve the greater good of all. And it's with everything that's evolving around us, I think we're all just seeing how connected we are. And
I'm just saying
a few people I recognize. Of course. And yeah, so I do teach yoga and meditation like Leila, and we are both very interested and passionate about all things spiritual and all things also, yeah, connecting to the divine and living your highest potential. So I think that's one of the roles and the missions that we both have, and that's why we're doing this work and sharing. And yeah, besides that, I'm also a doula. I am also studying both Chinese medicine and Western medicine. So we try to work as holistically as possible. And yeah, Leila has been a very big inspiration to me, and yeah, we're looking forward to co-creating together. And yeah, we're really grateful that everyone is here, and we would love to start the Q&A session, I think. And one of the questions that I received prior to this was, how do you release your past and your maybe even your past traumas? And Leila is really an expert when it comes to traumas, as if you listen to the...
I don't know about expert, but I've been working. I try to teach through my story, and I've been working with it. But yeah, so maybe I can help with that.
Yeah. So the question was, how do we, something that we've carried on us for many years, like how would we go about to release that, and not, for this not to hold us down?
So one of the things that comes to mind is that we need to release it maybe on several levels. So we need to work with it emotionally, mentally, and physically, and usually, and also energetically. Usually what we do is that we find it on an emotional and mental level, and then it's still stuck on a physical or energetical level in our body. So in our modern society, we are very good at talking about our past and our traumas, and we're very, and that is amazing. We should do that too, but we need to also like find the imprint of the trauma in our nervous system and in our energetic bodies. So we need to like work on those levels too, because if we don't, it's always going to be stuck there too. So we can talk about it and work on it on an emotional level, and we can talk about it and work on it on a mental level, so that we have an understanding of it. But then we also need to do things to release it through our bodies and energetically, also our energy field. So there are like, it's important to know that we need to release it on all of these levels. And as I said, in our modern society, we usually work with the mental level or the emotional level and the behavioral level, but we need to like also not forget our energy body and our spiritual level and our physical level, because things are imprinted in our nervous system. We need to like release. When we're stuck, our nervous system can be like stuck in the past. So we need to, when things happen to us, let's say trauma happens to us, and we haven't been able to integrate that trauma because we didn't have like supportive adults around us. And let's say we were in an accident, something happened to us, we were in an abusive household, something happened to us, and we didn't have like support from supportive and nurturing adults, or we didn't have a way of integrate what was happening to us. So part of our nervous system is kind of stuck in the past, so we need to like help our nervous system. I'm simplifying this a lot now, just to make it clear. So we need to help our nervous system to release. And for that to happen, we don't always need to know the details of it. We don't always need to know exactly what happened or exactly what went on, or but we need to like help our nervous system to regulate, because every time we find ourselves in situations that are traumatic or that remind us of what we were going through, our nervous system is going to react. And it doesn't matter how much we talk about it or how much we understand it. If we can't help our nervous system to regulate, we can never let go of that trauma. So every time we get triggered, we need to, in different ways, help our nervous system to regulate back to balance. And so that's one way of looking at it. Another way of it is like if we look at it through the shamanic lens, or through the like more spiritual realms, where you work on the energy body, then you need to like in different ways go into the energy body and remove like imprints in the energy body. And we do that. I saw there was a question about chakras here and the energy body, that we need to do that by balancing our chakras and like healing our luminous body. There are many different ways of doing that. So the first thing that comes to mind to me when you ask that question is that we have to remember that to release something, to really release something, we need to work on all levels. I hope that was an answer. And I want to hear your answer too, because I know you have a lot to say about this too.
No, I think exactly. It's really something when we're feeling like we're physically carrying something. It's truly like you have this space within you where you're holding energy that is being stored in some type of way, and this can manifest in different ways. It can manifest in our behavior, in how we're feeling. Hi, Mom. And how you're feeling. If there's any discomfort or dis-ease in your body, nothing in the physical is not manifested from the energetical and the subtle. So there's nothing, even when we fall and hit ourselves, there is something like if you hit your head one day, it's like you have something here you need to focus on and to give attention. So with releasing, I mean, sometimes we think we can do something and we release it, but then it comes back. That means we haven't really gone deep into it. And that's when we're talking about grounding yourself in and going down. That's when you go down into that darkness and into that. And darkness is not something bad. It's just that you go into a shadow that is not seen. It's the subconscious. It's like the moon when it changes from full moon to new moon, the dark moon. It's just different aspects of you, and we can't hide that, because when the full moon comes, it will appear, and it will go in cycles like that. So it's really we of course we practice yoga and meditation as tools, but sometimes there is no like external method that you can use more than going within yourself and really like facing that and being so self-aware, that knowing when are you being triggered and when is that baggage being triggered. And if it comes back and back, it means you haven't learned the true lesson from that which you have experienced, because we're not experiencing things for no reason. There is always a reason. So when it does come back, it really shows that you need to work deeper. And then we peel one layer off at a time until it's not within your subconscious or consciousness anymore, and it can't it doesn't take place in your body. But just having patience with that, some things that we experience can take one day to get over. Some things can take decades.
Exactly. It doesn't have to. Usually when we do trauma work, there's some kind of I don't know what to call it, misconception might not be the right word,
but I'm going to call it
that it has to take forever and ever. It doesn't have to take forever and ever. It might live with us for a while, and it might live in our systems and our bodies, but getting past the trauma doesn't have to take forever and ever. With the right tools, you can get past it pretty quickly. And with the right support and so it doesn't have to take forever and ever. And that's what I mean by, like, we need to look at it from all levels, because if we just stick on one level, then we might need, if we just work on it through a mental or emotional level, behavioral level specifically, then we might have to work on it forever and ever. But when we go to those deeper levels like you were talking about, then we can release it pretty quickly. And I just want to add to that, when you said that dark is not bad, many people think of darkness as something evil. Darkness is not evil. It's just like you said, our shadow side. It's just like darkness is only the things that we don't see. So we need to like shed light on them so we can see them. So we're not talking about evil. It's not like these bad, we don't have evil parts. We're not evil. That's not what we're talking about. Or so I think that's a misconception also. And that's a reason why people why people are a bit afraid of looking at their darker sides, because they are ashamed and also think that they're evil just because they have something dark in them. And that's not it. It's like, we have shadow sides. Everyone has shadow sides. And it's like you said, even the moon has a shadow.
So, nature has light and darkness. We have to move away from always the dualistic and the imprinting that we have from different types of beliefs that we've had throughout generations, and it's just programming to create fear. So we have to move away from that, and also be with what we have within us, because that's when we truly can embrace everything, and that's the release in itself. So it's not about saying that we're cutting something off. So, but yeah, I think it's a beautiful question. Thank you for sharing that, Leila. Maybe we have did you get any questions that were?
Yeah, there was some questions I saw by Sarah in the comments. Like, things like yoga for immune system, like yoga and meditations and stuff like that for the immune system.
Yeah.
And do you want to go first?
You can start. Yeah, you can start with that.
Yeah, what I thought about was like the immune system needs us calm and like balanced.
So any type of yoga that helps you regulate your stress
is good for the immune system. That's like the first thing.
So anything that, and it doesn't have to be like in yoga that is soft, or restorative yoga that is very like aiming at the stress release and stress relief, but stress management, it can be a pretty active yoga too, because sometimes we need, depending on our what kind of stress state we're in, we need something active to down-regulate our nervous system. So it doesn't have to be like the softest kind of yoga. It can be that too. It depends on what type of stress you're in. But stress is like the number one like bad guy for the immune system. So anything really that regulates stress, any kind of yoga, breathing techniques, and meditation techniques that regulates your stress, which is like almost all of them, I would say.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, health is something that comes from within. So it's nothing outside of us that can create that. We strengthen ourselves from within. We are the way we feel, think about ourselves, the way we're treating ourselves, the way we're talking to ourselves. That either strengthens our whole body, our cells, our immune system, or it breaks it down. So when you start by going to the root, which is understanding that you are worthy and deserving, that you have this self-love as if you are loving the divine, something that you have unconditional love for, then it starts within your body. And to take help of example, yoga and meditation practices, guided meditations to help boost that, it's really beautiful. And also, again, becoming very self-aware. So, and in Chinese medicine, there's different emotions that in Chinese medicine that can cause different things in our body, and affect our chi, our prana, or our life force energy. And when we have too much in excess, certain type of emotion, or just too little of certain type of emotions, we're causing disharmony, and it weakens the body. Everything that causes disharmony in our body decreases our immune system. So it really, there's so much we can do, but it really starts with your thoughts, with your consciousness. And this is like sometimes I try to explain, people ask me about meditation, and it's hard. It's like, it's really hard because we haven't been trained and practiced since we were children. We have actually been trained and practiced to do the exact opposite of being conscious and aware. We have been totally shut off. We're like a head here and the body is down here. So we have to train ourselves back to how we came in as infants into this world. And when we do that, we have to see it as a practice, something that, as if you are practicing for a marathon, that it takes time. You can't run a marathon overnight without even have ran or done any type of exercise before. So just taking that time, and every small step is important. So everything you do, like just being grateful in the morning, thinking about 3 grateful thoughts, and ending the day with that. It's so simple. You have control over that. You don't have to make these huge goals. Start with something basic, and then it will grow from there. Let it take time. That's the process.
Hi, Loranda. Yeah, you don't have to make it complicated.
The principles of health and spirituality, and
they're pretty simple. They are not always easy to follow, but they are pretty simple. And I was thinking also that they say that 70 to 80% of our immune system is located in our gut. So like taking care of your gut and being aware of how your gut is, and really taking care of your gut. That will help your immune system. That will boost your immune system and help your immune system be like steady and healthy and balanced. And also there's different, like in Chinese medicine, there is, and in Ayurveda, there's different ways of taking care of your balance your stomach and your gut and everything like that. So you can definitely use those practices. But there are also different yoga classes and yoga poses and breath techniques that are good for your digestive system. And as long as your gut is healthy, then your immune system will be healthy too. So that is also one aspect of boosting or keeping your immune system healthy. Yeah. And again, stress is one of the worst things you can put your body through, and that includes your gut. So
that's so true.
Did you have any more questions? I saw a question about family and boundaries, or did you see that? There was a question about
important about having it can be a person in your life that keeps if there's any type of abuse or any type of energy vampires in your life, like how are you dealing with that? Because sometimes it can be very hard if you have someone that is very close, like a family member, parent, that you're feeling energetically very disharmony energetically. And exactly what you said, we have different challenges in different times of our lives. And one thing that many of us, and especially women, have to learn is to set boundaries and to have it be okay to say no, and to allow yourself to put yourself first. And understanding that other people have their journey, and you cannot be this source of their sometimes the way that they heal, they think that they heal is by taking, like we're taking but not giving anything back, and that's karmically not a good way to do it. It's because everything in the universe there's an energetic laws. We can't, it's like the law of gravity. So what we take, there must be something that we give back, and that comes from unconditional love. Everything is unconditional love. So when you have that for yourself,
there's an exchange. There's always like an exchange and transition like going on. Transaction, I should say, not transition, transaction.
Yeah, so we need to stay mindful of that. Yeah.
And
you kind of blurred. I think there was something with the connection. Is there something else you wanted to say?
Was there something else you wanted to say?
No, that was it.
Yeah, so it's definitely about boundaries.
Yeah, so it's definitely about boundaries. It's definitely about expressing your boundaries. It's definitely, and if you come from a background where your needs and your wants and your energy is often like suppressed, and then you are not used to. I used to be honest, I used to be crap at boundaries. I used to like. I still
have to practice mindful boundary setting, because it's not easy, and it has to do with self-worth. Like you said, it definitely has to do with self-worth. You need to know that you're worthy of your space in this world, and when you know that you are worthy of this space in this world without question, then you will be able to express your boundaries without being afraid. Like say no to someone was like the worst thing ever for me. I had to say no to someone. I would get all panicky, and I would have like total breakdowns. And so it has been a practice for me. But you can set boundaries on many different levels. You can set energetic boundaries. You can set like verbal boundaries. There's like different ways of setting boundaries, that you need to know that you're worthy of your own space, and that you can. And you can do it with compassion. You don't have to do it like with defensiveness. Like the first thing that usually happens when we start practicing boundary setting is that we become defensive. Like we have this pent up energy. Oh, I need to like take up my space, and I need to say no to everyone, and like defensive, and we just blur out our boundaries all over the place. So we need to like practice being more mindful and be compassionate, but still being very like clear. And practice. It's definitely a practice. To learn how to express boundaries in a healthy way, because that's what it's about. Yeah. So if you have like you go.
When we look at our some of our goals in life, one of the things can be we can see that as something that heals us and develops us further in our soul. So it's actually a really soulful work to do, to start understanding that aspect of yourself, and also yeah, self-love.
Yeah, and it's not egotistical. It's not like self-care is not something bad. It's like you make sure that you have, like, it's like if you imagine this cup, you have like a cup and you fill the cup, and it's like your energy, and you fill the cup and you fill the cup, and eventually it will stop overflowing, and you give from that overflow. You just keep filling the cup and you give from that overflow. What we usually do is that we have like a half, like the cup is half full, and we give from a half full cup, and that's when we start to like deplete ourselves, and we start to have problems in our relationships, and everything just becomes a mess. So we need to be able to fill that cup and give that overflow. So boundary setting is actually the opposite of being egotistical or being self-centered. So yeah.
Yeah, so true. Beautifully put.
So, any other questions?
Yeah, let's see if we are getting any questions here. It's hard to see all the questions that come up, but maybe someone wants to share. Yeah.
Someone asked something about chakra, what we can do for like picking up our heart chakra. So
yeah,
if you ask
something about
I don't remember the entire question, so if you want to ask the question again, then we can answer that question.
Maybe we can start by what we can do with negative thoughts. I can see a question about that. Negative thoughts can be something that we think that it's coming from ourselves, but the best way to understand why we're having negative thoughts is to go to the source of when that started, and that's usually not like this past year. It can be like 20 years ago, 30 years ago that it started. So negative thoughts are like a build of negative programming, and then we start believing it, so it becomes our own thoughts about our lives, about ourselves, about other people. And for me, negative to deprogram your mind, I would say truly like meditation and affirmations, like just practice every day with this, because when you start filling yourself up with positive affirmations, intentions, and speaking in a positive way in your thoughts to yourself, to the world, that's when everything shifts. But also understanding the root of it, like where is this coming from? And when we see it, then it's again, that's when we can release it. Otherwise it will just be there. And the mind is a beautiful tool. Our thoughts are beautiful because we can do so much with our thoughts. We can create with our thoughts. We can communicate through our thoughts. Like I would say practice affirmations and mantras. It's really important.
Yeah, definitely, because we need to replace the negative monologue going on in our head with a more positive one, and the only way to do that is to like practice the positive one. And it's so true that we need to find the source. We need to like, someone said once that we usually say that we create the world with our thoughts, but before we create the world with our thoughts, the world creates our thoughts. Because when we are kids, when we were born, we don't have negative self-talk. But what we see in the world and how the world treats us, that's how we start getting the negative thoughts in our head. So before we can even start creating the world with our thoughts, the world creates our thoughts. Meaning everyone we meet, when our parents, our caregivers, our friends, school teachers, everyone we meet when we are small, they create our thought system. So it's kind of an unlearning of all of that. We need to unlearn all of that. We need to, like you said, find the source, and then we need to unlearn. And the one way to unlearn is affirmations and mantras, and definitely you keep bringing up self-awareness, and self-awareness is like, without that we can do any of this. So it's super important.
Yeah, it's really, really important. And I think this is an interesting question, because this is something that has come up to our awareness, the fear of death. What is the fear? Why do we have fear of death? And
what's the question that we got?
Yeah, I see that someone has just asked about that. I think it's a really really current question, and what is it that makes, I mean, if it's like saying, okay, I love the daytime, but I'm really afraid of night. It's the same. I like it. We go into dual thinking, but also we came into this life with the understanding that we don't know how we got here completely, truly, and we don't know how we live here. But why are we fearing something that we don't truly know? I think there has been a loss in our culture of speaking about death, because it's taboo and it's something that we don't talk about. And what I'm studying right now is actually care in the end stages of life, which is palliative care. And we had this discussion with my class and our nurse that is a teacher, and we spoke about this, and she also brought up how there's this Tibetan death book talking about how important it is to be the importance of being aware and conscious throughout that process. Like, just as we came in here, we were conscious and alive when we came into this life. And the fear, when we are fearing death, we can't truly fully appreciate and be alive. Exactly, because then we are not accepting what life is. It's like saying, I fear that I fear birth. Like, why would you fear that? It's a transition. So it depends on what is death to you. We have been conditioned that it could be hell. So and the conditioning is not only, okay, me here, the physical, it's generations and all the ancestors that have came before us with this belief. If we had moved back to the natural way of living and understanding that this is a natural way of life, and having conversations about it, and being like, we spoke about this when someone that's 95 want to talk to their children about how they want to die, or how they want things to be. Their child does not want to let go, so they don't want to talk about it. But we're stripping away the very, it's our right to talk about it, because it's not something it's not a punishment. So see, to answer the question, see what is your relationship to it. What do you think will happen when you die, and what is the worst thing that will happen? And then we see that everyone will have that passage. And in my belief, that's only a part of our very long journey into something else. Because when we're falling asleep, we don't know where we're going, but we in our consciousness, in different dimensions, we're living a completely different life. So when we're falling asleep and waking up, it's like a death and rebirth, right? It's a very interesting question.
It's very interesting, but we have accepted sleep as just sleep, because scientists have kind of figured out sleep. So that's why we don't fear sleep. But scientists haven't figured out death. If they would have figured it out, we might not have been afraid of it. But so there's in Eastern, like you say, in Eastern traditions, they celebrate death, and in Buddhist traditions, there's like these meditations and contemplations around death. I also think one of my yoga teachers, when I did one of my yoga teacher trainings, he used to say, this is so beautiful, he used to say, the cause of death is life. It's like the cause of death is life. It can't be anything else, because once you're born, you're going to die. And how you die doesn't matter, because the cause of death is life. And I think another teacher also told me once that we're not so afraid, we're not as afraid of death or of dying as the way in which we will die. Most of us are afraid of the way we will die, because the way we will die can be scary. I mean, there are so many, for instance, right now everyone is scared of this virus, and understandably so, but what we are most afraid of is the way we are going to die. We are maybe not as afraid of death as the way to dying, if you get what I mean. That's what she said anyway, and I thought that was, and I mean, right now I think like it's a very, even if it's a difficult discussion to have, or difficult like thought, like difficult reflection to have, to reflect on death. Right now we have like one of the reasons why everyone, because we're afraid of the unknown, we're afraid of uncertainty, and we're afraid of the unknown, and death is like the ultimate unknown. It's like it doesn't get more unknown than that. So I mean, and we see that now because everyone is so afraid, and everyone is like, with all that's happening in the world because of Corona, everyone is super afraid, and it's because of we're so afraid of the unknown. No one knows what's going to happen. You don't know, I don't know, no one knows what's going to happen, but what we can, like you said, cultivate these like inner resources that we have. We can like cultivate different ways of approaching death and fear, and like our mindset and all of those things, and that will help us through this. But the ultimate fear is the fear of death. And yeah, I don't know if that was my answer, but yeah, that was my answer anyway.
Yeah, and we don't need to always look to science to get these answers. If we look to nature or the universe, we will get all the answers. Just look at nature. So in the winter, it dies. There's no life there, right? It seems as there's no life, but then it awakens again. So why are we different from nature? We're part of nature. We are nature. We're not anything other than nature. We are this earth. Like, our body is made from this earth. So, and our energy has this link to, so
that is
really,
it's a big question also.
Definitely.
And I saw that we got the question about the heart chakra again. Like, the heart chakra is connected to our immune system, and so if we take care of our heart chakra, we will boost our immune system. We will take care of our immune system. And the way I see it is that an open heart chakra doesn't block our emotional pathways, doesn't block our the way. If our heart chakra is blocked, we have like the pathways and the channels through which our emotions can express themselves will be blocked, and also the way we connect with other people, and the way we, like you said, to ourselves, and like the way we are connected to love and self-love will be blocked. So if our heart chakra is blocked, all of those things will be like, we will be disconnected from all of those things, and that will create a stress response, and that stress response will affect our immune system. So an open heart chakra means that we are in a calm state, that we are in a state where we feel connected to other human beings, where we feel connected to feelings of joy and love, and those feelings are healing. Those are those support the immune system. And so those, when we are in those type of feelings, we are in the part of our nervous system that is healing. And so that's how we boost our immune system, through having a healthy heart chakra. That's one answer, and that's my answer, but that's one way of looking at it. So yeah. Sorry. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but that's what comes to mind right now.
Yeah, definitely. No, I completely agree. And I've been throughout this call shuffling my beautiful oracle card deck that Amanda Lynn Hales have created. She's the first guest I had on my podcast, and I want to share one card with all of you. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm just going to read the message. And it said, when faced with a dilemma, do not discard your inner voice. Anxiety, hesitation, and the tingle in your tummy are all warning signs. So this is the card. So this is really a card that asks you to really go within. We can have many questions, external questions, but everything is within. And when we have that awareness and being embodied and feeling ourselves, that means that we are also connecting to our intuition, and the body has a lot of signals that tells us which directions to go, and we have to trust. There's like in the times that where we are scared of something or we're feeling disconnected, like that's the time that we are asked to go within, to have the trust and to feel so divinely guided. And it can be hard, but it's just just surrender into that, and it truly can help you to find back to your source. So it's really important.
Definitely. That was
beautiful card. Maybe we can post it like
yes,
your Insta story or something like that.
Yeah.
So people can take a picture of it and
post it.
Yeah. Definitely. It's a beautiful card. And we're gonna, did you have anything else, Leila, before we wrap up?
No, I think we should wrap up.
Definitely, because so that people also have the energy to listen to all of this.
Yeah. I think that this was a beautiful Q&A. Thank you so much for everyone who joined and for your lovely questions. And yes, and we will have, me and Leila will continue with these sharings, especially around the lunations. So the next time will probably be around the new moon that we will have, and the full moons. And we're just doing this work for all of you to help you all out in any type of way that we can, and for you guys to help each other with your questions, because it's together that we truly create healing in the world.
Definitely.
And we'll keep you posted about that. And we will
I'm so looking
forward to like moon dates are so special dates to be doing these type of work and to be gathering and like just
connecting. And
so under the moon energy is like a perfect energy to do this. So I'm excited for that. And we'll keep you posted. We will just show up in our social media on Instagram, and we will keep you posted. And keep sending us your questions, and we will take note of them, and we'll bring them to our next live.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you, Leila. It was beautiful to connect with you.
Yeah, definitely. I love sharing this space. We'll definitely do it again. And big hugs to everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.